The boy in the mirror. The first time Elias noticed him, it was not in the stillness of midnight, but in the warmth of the afternoon sun. He was brushing his teeth lazily, squinting against the bright light that streamed through his small bathroom window. His reflection was ordinary. Messy brown hair, tired eyes, toothpaste foam clinging to the corner of his mouth. But then, in a flicker, the mirror did something strange. His reflection blinked a second later than he did. A heartbeat's delay, just enough to freeze him in place. He spat the foam into the sink, wiped his mouth, and leaned closer. His reflection leaned closer too, but slower, deliberate. Elias felt his chest tighten. He laughed nervously, shaking his head. Sleep deprivation, maybe. He hadn't slept properly in days, staying up late sketching strange dreams in his notebook. It had to be his imagination. But when he turned to leave, he swore his reflection smiled at him, just a fraction too knowingly. Days passed. Elias told himself not to look too long in mirrors, but he couldn't help it. It was like a secret gravity pulling him back. And the boy, because that's what Elias realized he was, a boy not quite Elias, was always waiting. He looked the same, but different. The boy's hair was smoother, falling into place as though the wind adored him. His eyes seemed brighter, sharper, holding a mischief Elias never carried. And when Elias stood there, staring at himself, the boy tilted his head like a wolf catching a scent. The first time the boy spoke, Elias nearly screamed, "You can see me." The voice didn't echo aloud, it bloomed in Elias's mind, like thoughts not his own. Elias stumbled back, heart pounding. But the boy only rested his chin on his palm, gazing at him with quiet amusement. What? Elias whispered, barely daring to break the silence. The boy in the mirror smirked. You're not crazy, I'm real. Or as real as you believe I can be. Elias stopped sleeping altogether. Every night he returned to the mirror. They talked in hushed tones, though no one else could hear. Elias learned the boy's name, Adrian. He wasn't Elias's reflection, not really. He was something else. When Elias pressed for more, Adrian only smiled, enigmatic. What are you? Elias asked one night, his hands trembling against the cool porcelain of the sink. Adrian leaned forward, lips curving. I'm the part of you that isn't allowed out. The boy who laughs too loudly, the one who touches what you're afraid to touch. I'm everything you keep locked away. That's not possible, Elias argued weakly. And yet, here we are. Elias wanted to run, but he couldn't. Adrian's presence was magnetic, dangerous. He said things Elias never admitted aloud, teased him until his ears burned. And sometimes, late at night, Adrian's gaze softened in a way that made Elias's chest ache. Do you ever get lonely? Elias whispered once. Adrian's smile faltered. Every second you're gone. The world outside blurred. Elias skipped meals, classes, gatherings with friends. He lived for the hours in front of the mirror. Adrian told him stories of dreams Elias never remembered, desires Elias never confessed. He painted worlds beyond the glass, fields of endless stars, oceans that glowed like molten silver. Elias didn't know if any of it was true, but he believed because Adrian said it. One night, Adrian leaned close, his lips nearly brushing the glass. Do you ever wonder what it would be like? He asked softly. To touch me, to feel my hand in yours. Elias's throat tightened. He lifted his hand, pressing his palm to the mirror. Adrian mirrored him, warm brown eyes burning through the cold barrier. Elias's pulse raced. He wanted to break the glass, to bleed if it meant touching Adrian just once. Elias began to change. He laughed more in Adrian's presence, spoke bolder words. He practiced confessions in the mirror, things he would never dare say aloud to anyone else. Adrian urged him to be fearless, to stop hiding. Yet beneath Adrian's teasing smile, there was always a shadow of hunger, something restless, caged. Why me?
Elias asked one night. "Why are you in my mirror?" Adrian's expression turned solemn. "Because you called me." "I didn't." "You did. Every time you looked at your reflection and hated what you saw, every time you wished for someone braver, stronger, freer. I am that wish. I am you, and not you." Elias shivered. He wanted to deny it, but Adrian's gaze stripped him bare. There were nights Elias couldn't look away, couldn't breathe under the weight of it. And then Adrian kissed him. Not flesh to flesh, but glass to glass, their lips pressed against the cold surface, a perfect mimicry. Elias's knees nearly gave way. It was impossible, absurd, and yet his heart felt like it had finally found its rhythm. Adrian whispered against the barrier, "Say you want me." Elias trembled. "I want you." From then their meetings grew feverish. The longing was unbearable. Adrian whispered promises. "One day I'll step through. One day you'll hold me." Elias believed him, even as the mirror remained impenetrable. He began dreaming of Adrian outside the glass, waking with the ghost of warmth on his skin. But as Adrian grew closer, Elias grew weaker. He woke dizzy, bruises blooming on his arms like fingerprints. His reflections sometimes showed hollows beneath his eyes, even when he felt fine. When Elias confronted Adrian, the boy only smiled sadly. "Everything has a price, Elias. You asked for me." "I didn't know it would hurt." Adrian's eyes softened. "I hurt too." The turning point came on a storm last night. Elias's power went out, the room swallowed by shadows. But the mirror glowed faintly, as though lit from within. Adrian stood there, closer than ever, his breath fogging the glass. "Come with me," Adrian said urgently. "Step through." Elias's heart hammered. "I can't. It's not possible." "It is, but you have to choose. Stay in your world or come into mine. You'll never go back." Lightning cracked outside, shaking the house. Elias stared, torn between terror and longing. Adrian pressed his palm flat to the glass, pleading. "I'm not just your reflection, Elias. I'm real, and I love you." The words rooted deep in Elias's soul. He pressed his hand against Adrian's, eyes burning. "I love you too." The glass rippled. It was like water, trembling under their touch. Elias gasped, but Adrian's eyes shone with desperate joy. "Push," Adrian urged. "Push harder." He did. His hands sunk into the glass, the cold biting his skin, then turning warm, electric. Adrian gripped his fingers tightly, pulling. And then Elias was through. He fell onto a floor of black marble, breath ragged. The air smelled sharp, metallic, and the sky above was a swirling void. Adrian knelt beside him, his hands warm, real, pressing Elias close. Elias buried his face in Adrian's chest, trembling. "You're real," Elias whispered, tears spilling. "You're really real." Adrian laughed softly, kissing Elias's hair. "I told you." They kissed again, lips finally meeting without glass between them. It was desperate, aching, sweet. Elias clung to him as though the world might vanish. For the first time, he felt whole. But the world beyond the mirror was not kind. It was empty, an endless hall of reflections, mirrors upon mirrors stretching forever. Adrian's hand never left Elias's, guiding him through the silence. "Where are we?" Elias asked, uneasy. "My world. The place between. Shadows, echoes, all the things people hide." Elias shivered. The mirrors showed versions of himself, smiling, crying, screaming. He couldn't look for long, but Adrian kissed his knuckles, soothing him. "You're safe with me." Elias wanted to believe, and he did, because Adrian's arms were strong, his lips gentle, his eyes endless. They lay together in the hollow of a mirror's frame, whispering confessions, touching as though making up for years of distance. But every day Elias stayed, his body in the real world weakened. He could feel it, like a string pulling taut. Sometimes he glimpsed his body in the mirrors, lying pale in bed, chest barely rising. Adrian held him tighter whenever he looked. "You'll be fine. Stay with me. Don't look back." "But I'll die." Adrian's jaw tightened. His voice cracked. "If you go back, I'll vanish. I can't exist without you. Don't leave me, Elias. Please." Elias's heart broke. He cupped Adrian's face, seeing the fear raw in his eyes. Adrian wasn't the untouchable boy in the mirror anymore. He was fragile, terrified, in love. Elias kissed him, pouring everything into it. "I'll never leave you." And he meant it.
Time blurred. Elias no longer knew if days or years passed. He only knew Adrian's hands, Adrian's voice, Adrian's love. The world outside the mirror faded until it was nothing. His old life dissolved like mist. And one day, Elias realized he didn't see his body in the mirrors anymore. Just him and Adrian, reflected together. He should have been afraid, but when Adrian kissed him, smiling through tears, Elias knew he'd chosen his truth. He had fallen in love with the boy in the mirror, and he would never look away again.